Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, I am Joanna G. Holden, and I am a fantasy author and author tuber. And for the last couple of months, really since the end of July, I have been missing from my channel. I had a perfectly good reason to, of course, because during that time, I had a baby. It is our third child living with us here. We do have two boys in heaven, but we have three children now here in our home with us, our two daughters, and now our beautiful, beautiful son. I'm sure that if any of you are following me over on Instagram, shameless plug, social media links in the description box below, but you have seen plenty of pictures of him, and of course of our girls just fawning over him because they love their little brother. But I'm back now on my channel. I'm so excited. I'm just so happy to be back and to be back into writing and to finally be back in my own body. This is really great. So I'm going to back up a little bit, give you a little bit of a recap of what's been happening behind the scenes the last few months, and then we can launch right into the direction of the channel from here on out and some of the things as far as my own books that I am contemplating and honestly kind of going back and forth about. So let's talk about these last few months. So I believe that my last video was an update video in which I said that I wanted to take some time post baby coming and just think through exactly what it was I wanted my channel to look like from here on out. Because since I made my very first video back in 2018, I want to say, I've had some changes. Not like drastic changes, but I've kind of shifted the kinds of videos that I love watching the most, and that has reflected, or excuse me, that has been reflected in the kinds of videos that I make. So I wanted to take a little bit of time for that. I also wanted to take some time away from my main project of this year, my main writing project of this year, which is my second official novel, Littlehood, which is a middle grade fairy tale retelling. And I wanted to devote some attention to the back burner series I've been working on kind of behind the scenes for the last few years, which is my high fantasy adult series, which is currently titled Project Coastlander. And of course, obviously, in the middle of all that, I wanted to have a healthy, safe delivery of my baby. So baby boy came, actually I had just finished filming a world building vlog on Saturday, the 22nd of August, because I was in the middle of world building. That's where I am with that series. And I had it edited, I had it saved, I was ready to upload it the very next day, and 3 a.m. the next morning, I started having for real contractions. So that video is never going to see the light of day, which I'm perfectly fine with because I was monstrously huge in it. But baby boy came, we had an amazing, safe, at-home delivery. Recovery was surprisingly fast. Like, I know that they say unmedicated births are supposed to have faster recoveries, but like, this was really fast to me. Like, I was back on my feet in a week, and I was back almost I was pretty much 100% at 2 weeks. Which I definitely did not have with any of my other pregnancies and births. So I was very excited and relieved that the recovery was so quick. And surprise, surprise, I'm looking at my little baby over there sleeping as I am talking loudly to the camera. Our baby is a really good sleeper, a really good eater, and a really good sleeper. So I'm happy. I love my daughter, Kaylin. She's our middle baby. But the recovery with her, it took me forever to get back into writing. I missed quite a few videos once I did get into vlogging just because it was a lot harder with her because she didn't want to eat and she didn't want to sleep. And you kind of have to do both of those things to be healthy, and mommy needs her time too. So all of that rambling is to say that the last 2 months, because he is now 2 months old, I cannot believe that. The last 2 months have been really, really good. We've had a lot of support from family and from friends, and just I have been able to take a little bit of time here and there, slowly getting back into a writing routine, and I have shifted back over finally to working full-time on Littlehood. So that has been the last 2 months. But I am going to say that in preparation for moving forward, I learned two things this past couple of months here. The first is I mostly love watching writing vlogs and writing updates and authors actually talking about their books and their writing process as it evolves, as it changes, as they grow as an author, as they learn new things. I have done a lot of tutorial videos in the past, and I still do appreciate those a lot. I do enjoy watching them, but I kind of shifted over now, and I'm watching more of like the business type tutorial videos, unless it's a deep dive into a movie that I have already seen or a TV show that I have already seen. Because those ones I realize I can actually like sit down and watch the movie afterward and like pick things out of it very quickly, as opposed to you know, just sitting down and talking through the theoretical. You know, these are the points that you want to hit. Well, in those kinds of videos, you can see here's how they played out in this movie that you know already so well. And then the other kind of video that I love, obviously, being the day in the life kind of vlogs, because I see how authors are fitting writing into their day or not fitting writing into their day, and I love getting to rejoice in the victories and just, you know, commiserate in the struggles. So those are kind of more the types of videos that I like. Vlogs, update and detail videos on like how the story's coming and what kinds of things you're doing in the story, and then anatomies of stories that I already know and love, and how different kinds of elements of writing fit in, like first chapters, or character arcs, or prologues, or world building tidbits. For this reason, I love watching Hello Future Me. Pretty much I could just sit and watch Hello Future Me like forever. If you are doing world building and you have not checked out Tim's channel, you need to go check it out. I will link it in the description box below, because I have been like binge watching those videos, even though I've already watched them over the last few months. But the other thing that I realized was that I am so in love with this fantasy series that I'm working on, and I am ready to just launch into it full time. Like, I've been trying to kind of balance multiple projects this whole past 2 years, and it worked great last year because the books came relatively easily, and I was kind of able to alternate every other month or every few months between projects, and kind of get little bitty breaks. But this year I did not get a chance to do that, and working on a project that I'm not like 100% pumped for was really hard this year, and it still is hard, even though now I feel a lot more excitement since I'm getting so much closer to the end of working on Littlehood. You know, I'm still doing a lot of first draft material with it, which is very discouraging since I've spent over a year at this point working on it. So I feel like I'm ready to launch back into the writing of Project Coastlander. So my big debate on my actual writing projects had been, do I keep writing the fairy tales? Like my debut novel was another middle grade fairy tale retelling, Snowdust, which took the Snow Queen and retold it, and which it is available now. Another shameless plug for myself down there. It did really well. People have really enjoyed it. I've gotten a lot of really great feedback from it, as well as some very helpful points of criticism that I'm very excited to use in my next book. And I love the next fairy tales. The next couple that I had planned after Littlehood were YA, and they were some of my favorite, least known type fairy tales. And I was so excited to get to work on them. But I also was watching myself, you know, writing Littlehood and wishing that I could be working on Project Coastlander. And the struggle was real. Like, I wanted so badly to just be working on world building and plotting for this other series. Oh, somebody woke up. Just a second. Go back to sleep. Okay. However, no matter how quickly I get world building and plotting done for Project Coastlander, it will still be at least 1 full year from now before I could start drafting book 1. And at this point, I don't know how many books there are going to be. I don't know how long it will take me to write each book. And there's a part of me that's kind of freaked out that I'm going to have a similar experience what I've had with Littlehood, where I wrote a crap draft, had to ditch it, start all over from square one, wrote a whole draft, realized there was a ton of stuff wrong with it, had to do a complete overhaul, started the next draft, realized I needed to overhaul it again and start over the brand new draft, and just, I don't want to have to do that with a giant series with multiple points of view and like all this world building that has to go into it as well. So there's a part of me that still thinks maybe I should just keep writing the fairy tales, like maybe on the side more, so that I can keep publishing those and be writing the Coastlander series kind of like in the background, so that when the fairy tales are done, by that point, maybe the first book will finally be ready and I'll have a head start on the other books. So full disclosure, jury's still out on which route I'm going to go. I'm going to take some time and consult with some author friends. Honestly, I'm going to sit down and talk with my husband about it and see what he thinks. So I want to ask some opinions. I want to kind of figure out what other people think. And then honestly, I think I'm going to use NaNoWriMo this year, which National Novel Writing Month, starting up in just a couple of days. I want to use that as kind of like a test ground for getting back into a writing routine. If I can establish a really good, solid writing routine, even with a baby that's still nursing around the clock, and almost 6-year-old who's kind of sort of starting back into school now that baby's here and everything, and then an almost 3-year-old that I love to death, but is a bit more challenging than her sister or her brother, really the both of them combined, and being a stay-at-home mom, so not being able to devote all of my time to writing like I would love to. Not that people who aren't stay-at-home moms can do that, but just saying, it's a real job too, let me tell you, especially with 3 at home now. But again, all that to say, jury's still out, and if NaNoWriMo goes well, if NaNoWriMo goes as well as I hope, let alone if there's a miracle it could go even better than I hope, then I will take that as kind of a sign that I should revisit the idea of writing the fairy tales while I am world building in the background. And at that point, I can figure out like what days of the week I want to work on what, factoring in, of course, YouTube channel. So that is what I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to talk more about my writing and my NaNoWriMo plans in another video. Right now, I want to talk about my channel a little bit because, again, no drastic changes. Sorry, he's very distracting because he's very cute. And he just lost his passy again, so I'm going to go give him that real quickly. I mean, just look at this cuteness. Don't you, Passy? Don't you, Passy? There you go. Oh my gosh. So, as I mentioned, I'm kind of veering more away, which I've noticed in a lot of channels as well, from the more tutorial type, like how to write better characters, how to do this, how to do that. Although I do want to still use those kinds of videos, just in a different way. I want to do more anatomy of a story type videos where I take movies or shows that I just really love and I analyze them. I go through, I dissect what makes this work and pull out the different things that I think really make it spectacular. And things that I think don't work in some videos, although I'll probably veer more away from the what not to do and focus more on the what to do. And then when it comes to writing vlogs, this is where I really would love to put more of the focus of my channel, specifically on being a mommy author. Now, I do know that there are a lot of mommy authors out there, a lot of daddy authors out there who have vlogs that include kind of some of their parental life and figuring that out with writing into their videos. But I would love to watch more videos from a stay-at-home mom, multiple younger children, finding time for writing. And there aren't a ton of those out there, at least that I have found. In fact, I don't really know of any. So I've kind of been watching like writing routine videos and then like stay-at-home mom routine videos and then like wishing that they would mesh. So when it comes to my day in the life of vlogs, which I really would love to do more of, I definitely want my focus to shift more onto the mommy side of things and how I am learning to balance taking care of 3 kids and a household and all this stuff, and still fit in writing. And especially when it comes to like my writing process and my writing routines and how I'm having to change them, how that works for me, as well as adding in more writerly update types videos where I really go into not spoilery stuff on my stories, but where I actually do talk about my stories more, and I talk about the different things that I'm using. Like right now, I'm really excited about K.M. Weiland's Creating Character Arcs book. It's been an eye-opener for me, and so to be able to go through how it's changed how I view my story and how, like, again, no spoilers, not sharing tons about my story, but sharing more about my story. because that's what I love watching in other people's videos. And then again, just maintain the focus is largely going to be on fantasy and on series writing, because that's what I'm writing. So yeah, I hope that sounds interesting to you guys. I hope also that this isn't like a turnoff to anyone who's been watching my videos and is not a parent or a stay-at-home mom or whatever, because I have learned so much and really enjoy watching videos from authors who aren't married, don't have kids. Some of them work full-time 9-to-5 jobs and fit in their writing at night or in the morning. Some of them work from home and they get to on the side. Then there are those who get to write full-time. You know that we all hate you, right? So that is really all that I have for you today. Again, I'm so excited to be back here on my channel. I will have another video out on Saturday all about my end of Preptober plans launching into NaNoWriMo, and I can't wait to see you in that video and just get to talk more about Littlehood and what I'm hoping to accomplish. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing on the way out, as I do post these fantasy series, life of an author type videos, and I'll be posting more of them now that I'm finally back on my channel. And be sure to hit the notification bell, because I'm not sure how regular my posting schedule will be. I'll probably have like more cluster type videos and then little breaks and then lots of cluster videos, because that's just how it's gonna work. But yeah, let's see. My book is available, Snow Dust, my middle grade fairy tale retelling. You can check the link down below. Man, it really has been a long time since I've done this. I love you all so much. Thank you for sticking out with me here on my channel during this baby having break, and I will see you all in my next video. Hope you have an amazing rest of the weekend writing. That was backwards, but you know what I meant. I love you all, and goodbye!